I sat in the cramped confines of WEVR radio station, the familiar hum of the equipment surrounding me, like a comforting blanket. The flickering fluorescent lights cast a harsh glow on the cluttered desk where stacks of papers and coffee cups formed a chaotic landscape. It was just another evening shift, or so I thought. "Good evening, Evergreen," I said into the microphone, my voice steady despite the unease gnawing at my insides. "This is Thomas Reynolds, bringing you the latest updates and the best music to get you through your night." As I spoke, I glanced at the monitors displaying the city's live feed. Everything seemed normal. Families settling in for the night, the usual sounds of traffic outside, but there was an undercurrent of tension in the air that I couldn't shake. Mia Collins, my co-worker and fellow DJ, shuffled into the studio, her brow furrowed. "Hey, did you hear about the strange stuff happening in Pinewood?" She asked, her voice low. I nodded, trying to keep the conversation light. "Yeah, I caught a glimpse of that on the news. Some kind of outbreak, right?" "Something like that. People are acting weird. Like violent weird," she replied, crossing her arms. "I don't know, it just feels off." I chuckled, but it felt forced. "We're in radio, Mia. We deal with weird every day." But as I settled back into my routine, her words lingered in my mind. I couldn't help but feel a knot tightening in my stomach. The evening wore on, and the station buzzed with the usual chatter. I played songs, read the news, and tried to maintain a calm facade. But as I prepared for the next segment, I noticed the lights flickering again, more insistently this time. "Did you see that?" I asked, glancing at Mia. "Yeah, it's probably just a power surge," she said, but her voice lacked conviction. I forced a smile, but unease settled deeper in my chest. The next call came in, a listener sounding frantic. "Thomas, you have to help. There's something happening out here. People are attacking each other." I felt my heart race. "Calm down, sir. Can you tell me where you are?" "I'm at the corner of Maple and 5th. They're not themselves." I exchanged a worried glance with Mia. "We're getting reports of disturbances in the area. Please stay indoors and lock your doors," I said, trying to sound authoritative. As I hung up, the tension in the studio thickened. "This isn't good," I muttered. Mia nodded, her eyes wide. "We need to keep broadcasting. People need to know." The lights flickered again, plunging the studio into darkness for a heartbeat before the emergency generator kicked in. The dim glow cast eerie shadows on the walls, and I felt a chill run down my spine. "What's going on?" I asked, trying to sound calm, but my voice wavered. "I don't know," Mia replied, her fingers dancing nervously over the keyboard. "But it feels like something's about to happen." I couldn't shake the feeling of dread that settled over me. I thought of my daughter, Emily, who was at home. She was safe, I told myself. The thought of her alone in the house made my heart race. "Thomas?" Mia's voice broke through my thoughts. "You okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine," I lied, forcing a smile. "Just thinking about the broadcast." We continued with the show, but the atmosphere felt heavy, as if the air itself was charged with impending doom. A strange noise outside caught my attention. A low growl, maybe? I glanced at the window, but the street was empty, shrouded in darkness. As the night deepened, calls continued to flood in. Each one was more frantic than the last, describing scenes of chaos and violence. My heart raced as I tried to maintain a sense of calm on air, but the panic in my voice was hard to hide. "Stay indoors, Evergreen," I urged, my voice echoing in the small studio. "We're here to keep you informed." Mia was typing furiously, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Thomas, these reports are getting worse. People are saying they're being attacked by their neighbors." "Just rumors," I said. Even I didn't believe it. The weight of responsibility pressed down on me. I had to keep broadcasting, to be the voice of reason in this madness. Then the power flickered again, and the lights went out completely. Darkness enveloped us, and I could hear the distant sounds of breaking glass and screams outside. "Thomas," Mia's voice trembled. "What's happening?" "I don't know," I replied, my heart pounding. "But we need to get out of here." Pounding on the station doors sent a jolt of fear through me. I rushed to the door, bracing myself against it. "Get back," I shouted to Mia and the others. "We need to find a way out." The door rattled violently, and I could hear muffled voices outside, filled with panic and rage. My mind raced. We were trapped. "Thomas, we can't stay here," Mia urged, her eyes wide with fear. Okay, I said, trying to think clearly. We'll go through the back exit. It's our best shot. We scrambled to the back of the station, sound of chaos growing louder. I could feel the adrenaline coursing through my veins as we reached the exit. On 3, I said, my voice steady despite the fear clawing at me. 1, 2, 3. We burst through the door, and the chaos of the outside world hit us like a wave. The streets were ablaze with light, fires raging in the distance, and the sounds of screams and sirens filled the air. As we stepped into the night, the city was unrecognizable. I led the group through the streets, my heart pounding as I tried to keep everyone focused. Where do we go? Mia gasped, glancing back at the chaos behind us. We need to find shelter, I replied, scanning the area. Somewhere safe. We turned a corner and my stomach dropped. A group of frantic individuals was gathered ahead, their movements erratic and desperate. My instincts screamed at me to turn back. We had no choice. Stay close, I ordered, my voice firm. As we approached, I could see the fear in their eyes. They were not just scared, they were terrified. I felt a chill run down my spine as one of them turned toward us, eyes wild with panic. Help us, he cried, lunging forward. I barely had time to react as chaos erupted around us. We fought our way through the crowd, narrowly escaping the chaos. As we made our way back to the radio station, I felt the weight of the world on my shoulders. Thomas, we need to barricade the doors, Mia urged as we entered the station. I nodded, adrenaline still coursing through my veins. We quickly moved furniture and equipment to block the entrance, our hearts racing as we worked together. Once secure, I turned to the group. We need to broadcast again. If anyone is still out there, they need to hear us. Mia and I set up the equipment, and I took a deep breath, preparing for what could be our last message. This is Thomas Reynolds of WEVR Radio, I began, my voice steady despite the fear thrumming in my chest. You can hear this. We are under attack. Stay indoors, lock your doors, and protect yourselves. We will find a way to survive this. As I spoke, the sounds of chaos outside intensified. The pounding on the doors grew louder, and I could feel the tension in the room rising. Just as I finished the broadcast, the door burst open, and a horde of frantic figures flooded into the studio. My heart raced as I fought to keep my composure. Get back, I shouted, pushing Mia and the others behind me. The room erupted into chaos, screams mingling with the sounds of struggle. I fought to defend my friends, my instincts kicking in as I tried to keep everyone safe. In the midst of the chaos, I spotted a familiar face among the attackers. Emily. My heart sank. Emily, I shouted, reaching out for her, but she was lost in the frenzy, her eyes wild and unrecognizable. The horror of the situation crashed over me like a wave. I had to save her. As the struggle continued, I made a desperate choice to protect Mia and the others. I pushed them toward the back exit, knowing that I might not make it out myself. As dawn broke over the city, chaos began to subside. I lay on the ground, bruised and battered, but alive. The remnants of our fight for survival surrounded me, and I looked around at the wreckage of the station. Mia knelt beside me, tears streaming down her face. We did everything we could, Thomas. I nodded, the weight of loss heavy in my heart. We have to keep going. For Emily. With renewed determination, we gathered the remaining survivors and prepared for our next steps. The world outside was uncertain, but we would face it together, broadcasting hope into the darkness.